My name is Oksana Wenger.
My name is Andy Honda, which is a transliteration of the Ukrainian Andriy Hunder.
My name's Hanya Dezik, and my maiden name was Duke, in Ukrainian, Duke.
My name is Michael Klimchuk. Old time they called Mikhailo.
My name is Olga, or Olga, but Ukrainian name is Olga Terzyuk.
My father was born in a village called Muzhilyu, which is in the Ternopil region. So it's quite a small village. It's near a place called Berezhane. We went up to the cottage of our relative, and she said, "Do you know where you are?" And I said, No, I don't. And she said, this is where your father lived. This was your father's house." And we looked across, and there was no house there. Yeah. And it had just been demolished. We kind of picked up these pieces, and I brought them back from my visit to my own home. And now every time I look at them, I think of that connection between where my father's family lived, probably for hundreds of years in that village, all the way through the generations, and the cottage where he lived, and now I actually have a piece of where he was, probably what he touched, what he slept on, what his mother probably worked there cooking the food, and her mother before her. So for me it's a very deep connection.
There are some of recordings which I did here, and they are in different languages, but they were produced in Ukraine. They were produced in Ukraine. In Ukraine, they were appreciated very much indeed, because the press wrote nice about it, and the way I sang and the way the songs were orchestrated, because I sang Neapolitan ballets in Ukrainian, and some French songs in Ukrainian. So for them that was something absolutely different from what they are accustomed.
Books were very important, and some of them traveled with me from Khmelnytsky to Kiev University, where I studied, then to Latvia, then to France, and then to Britain. And in fact, here I have two items, which one of them is 11 volumes, Dictionary of Ukrainian Language, and another is a book about Vasily Yaroshenko, blind traveler, Esperantist, and it was a very important book in my life. It changed my life.
One thing, something tangible that reminds me, and every morning when I wake up, that still does remind me very much of Ukraine, is my family. My wife was born in Ukraine. Our children, they lived in Ukraine for many years, so they feel very much part of Ukraine.
It's called Mi Korotki Życiopis, which means My Short Life Story, by Yaroslav Wenger. That's my dad's name. It's got a twist on it. And it's basically about his life. It's about his early childhood in Ukraine, sort of like in the early 1920s, which gives a fascinating insight into life in Ukraine, in rural Ukraine back then. The book, it means a lot to me. It's like a link that I've got from the UK to Ukraine, because my dad wrote it. It's quite personal. I'd heard some of these stories before when he used to tell them when I was a child, and he's put them all together so I know kind of in order what he did when, what happened when, and some of the stories are quite horrific. They're all very interesting. He had a lot of adventures, good and bad. So I chose this because I thought, well, this object is something very important to me, and it's like a link that I've got to Ukraine, and it's like a connection. It's brilliant, I just love it. It's something I love. And I really admire my father, who didn't have much of an education, for writing it. He actually finished it. He began writing it and he got to the end and he wrote it from the heart. So this is why I chose it.
When I saw this object, it was obvious for me. Gold came from Kiev, where they were producing such jewelry. And he bought it in Switzerland. So objects like people.
What happened is that my father had been, in fact, sleeping on the stove where these objects come from. That evening he'd been playing with the two toddlers in the kitchen, and he thought, oh, you know, we're having quite a nice time, I'll just go and sleep on the stove again like I normally do. But then something, he said, just, I don't know, just, he had a feeling and he said, oh no, I'll just go up into the barn and up into the hayloft attic. And as luck would have it, that basically saved him. His whole family was basically taken away by the communist forces. My father was hiding in the attic when he was 14 years old, and he heard the forces coming into the house, and they said, you've got half an hour to pack up all your things and you're going to be put on a cattle truck to the Kazakhstan to exile. And he remained in hiding in the attic for 3 days until the next door neighbour came and said, you know, Petro, you can come out now.
І чужому навчайтесь, і свого не цурайтесь. So you're not ashamed of your own tradition. So yes, you learn a new tradition, but don't be ashamed. Don't forget your own one.
They wouldn't let us tell we are Ukrainians. At the end they said, you are without the country. You're not Ukrainian. They was not allowed us to say you're Ukrainian, you're Ukrainian. I said, yeah, not Russian, I'm not Polish. They said, without any country.
I sang in most of the theatres, not only in London but in England. And then I was associated with Bruce Forsyth for quite a while, for nearly 2.5 years. We sang in 36 theatres. Yes, only a week at each time. And that was for me a great experience. And then I was picked. I was picked to be a part of a team that would represent Great Britain in singing Eurovision Singing Contest.
First letter, I found out my mother died after 12 years.
To tell you that when I was a boy in a town, and when the Russians left, they in a river nearby called Bystrica, they found a lot of people which were killed by the KGB, and there were 66 of them that they all had dreadful. They were killed not by shooting but by hammers. How can I go back to Ukraine? You know, I've seen these atrocities. I couldn't. So that's why, as a boy, I had this thing that it was the Russians that came and did it, and so my place was in the West.
Well, when the war finished, there was still everything was under English. I was under English. The English army treat us very good, you know.
I feel that yes, Ukraine is my home, but it's the tradition within me that no matter where I am, I'll still keep.
But still in my mind, still thinking Ukrainian, you know.
Yeah. London is the place where I was born, but home is really where the family is. So I think it's that there can be more than one home. It's not necessarily a place, it's more of a feeling.
It's now like I have two homes. When I go to Kiev, and after some time I miss London. And in London I miss my city, my friends, and my family.
On Facebook, on telephones, well, I don't feel that I am far away. I feel that I am constantly there. Anyway, every day I'm checking. I am looking Ukrainian books. I am dealing with Ukrainian things. I am checking what's going there. So I live in both places at the same time. So I don't really feel that I am detached from Ukraine.
When I was on the news, Ukraine went independent, you know, I said, I must go now. And we all went. And from that time, 1948, every year, once a year, 1 week or 2 weeks, I go to Ukraine. Yeah.
I very much feel that I am Ukrainian. I don't often say that I'm of Ukrainian descent. Obviously I'm British, I've got a British passport, I was born in Britain, but I still have that inherent feeling that I'm Ukrainian, even though I've visited 3 or 4 times to see my family. And when I go there, I just really, you get this feeling in your heart, a sort of sinking feeling, this is where I came from.